What's up, everyone? All right, so in today's episode, we're going to break down my trades from this morning. I'm sitting in the green, up $21,672.38. That's a solid day. I'm now up over 40,000 on the week, and it's Wednesday. I said we had to make up for lost time, and we've done a good job of that. Those of you guys who've been doing the 2-week trial, you got to see it on display again today. My live broadcast is an interactive classroom where you get to watch me trade the strategies that I teach every single day in our Warrior Pro curriculum. So this morning, we had a couple of stocks that gave us some nice opportunities. I was pleasantly surprised. We had, we'll jump onto the charts and start breaking it down. BLBX, this stock right now is up 95%. It is our leading percentage gainer in the entire market right here. It's got news. But the stock that I broke the ice on was NEHC. So NEHC, kind of interesting, popped up earlier this morning. It was our leading gainer at the time when I traded it. And this one, what I found interesting was the way it had this 5-minute pattern of a pop and then a pullback, sideways, sideways, and then a pop and then a pullback, sideways, sideways. So as it started squeezing right here, my first trade was buying it right there at 458, adding at 460, 463, 465, and looking for that squeeze up towards the blue ascending resistance line. So I drew that line by connecting these two highs right here, and that gave me the feeling that this was possible resistance up in this area. So with an entry at 260, 258, 263, 265, I felt okay that I still had, 40 cents of room back to this high. So with my entry there, what was my max loss? It was about $4.50, the $0.50. So setting stops around $0.50 and whole dollars typically, set my stop around $4.50. So stop was at $4.50, target was a squeeze up to 5, average was around $4.62, $4.63. So I took that trade and I scaled into it to a 20,000 share position. It ends up going up to $4.80, up to 5. And as it comes up to $5, you know what I did? Now, some would say this is a little aggressive, and it is. I added at 5. I added for the break of 5. It squeezes through 5, and I got my best exit up at 517. So I scaled into a full position of almost 30,000 shares on this. I pulled out just under 30 cents a share, $8,636.25 to start the day. Not bad. I actually peaked a little over 9,000 and gave back about 1,000 off the top, but that's okay. I don't mind doing that. I was being aggressive. It broke this level, and I thought, well, if it's going to hold here, maybe we're going to get some parabolic price action. In fact, I would say something we've been kind of lacking in these last few trading sessions has been really nice parabolic price action during pre-market. Yesterday, you had USEG during regular trading hours, which squeezed from 2 to 250 to 3, 354, 455, all the way up to 6 before rolling over. But because it occurred during regular trading hours, the price action on it was sort of slowed down a little bit just due to the fact that we, of course, will have halt levels. And so as it comes up to a halt level, it sort of hits resistance and has to pull back. But this was a really nice move. This is an energy company. So a little theme yesterday, made some money on energy stocks. This was an energy stock yesterday. So this morning, NEHC, which was the first stock I traded, I pulled it up, New Era Helium. All right, so I'm like, all right. Texas Critical Data Centers to build this net zero energy center. So I'm like, okay, this kind of falls within the theme right now with energy, but I really wasn't sure how well it would hold up. So as it popped up here, I expected a deep pullback because of what we had seen after hours, deep pullback, pre-market, deep pullback, popping up, deep pullback. And I was watching it and trying to figure out, is there an ascending support area where this might bounce? It did come back down below VWAP. Of course, it did this morning as well, and then it still worked, but it hasn't been able to get back above VWAP. So I was kind of waiting for it to cross back above volume weighted average price for me to take a trade. That hasn't happened, so I haven't gotten another trade on it. So in the meantime, sitting patiently, waiting, cold and flu medicine kicking in, feeling a little groggy, looking for the next stock to pop up. And all of a sudden we get BLBX. So BLBX, boom, breaking news, 8 a.m. All right, so right there, top of the hour, it's got news, it pops up, $2 million financing ahead of potential merger. Now, this is, I don't know. I mean, this is kind of funny to me because it's BLBX Black Box Stock is a financial technology social media hybrid offering real-time analytics for news, stocks, and option traders of all levels. Wait a second. Isn't that kind of what I have with Day Trade Dash? Gosh, maybe I should be a publicly traded company. So, well, what's their total market cap? It's not going to be anything super impressive if we're going to be honest. It's only about $6 million. So, anyways, their float is 2 million shares. And today, they got a little bit of a pop, which obviously was tradable, but it's not a company that I'm really have expectations of it going parabolic. So this is how I approached it. It hits my scanners 8 a.m. and it immediately pops up to 260 right here. I saw it on the scanners as it popped up there. So if I back these scanners up, sometimes I have to, takes a while to load all the scanner alerts. So it was, where was it? So BLBX started hitting this scanner right here at 237, 257, 266, 340. So right there, I'm getting the alert, BLBX. I pull up the stock. I see the float's less than 5 million shares. It's a lower float. So I'm like, okay, this looks good. And I'm watching for the first pullback. Now on the 1 minute chart, all we see basically are big green candles forming, right? Just big green candles. There's no pullback. But on the 10-second chart, what you can see is that it actually did pull back. So it hit a high here, zoom in on this, hit a high of about 70. And right here, this is where it popped up to 290, up to 3. And I was watching it right here, watching the level 2. I had my hand on the buy button and I was like, should I do it? Should I do it? I don't know if I should do it. Should I punch it? It's starting to pull away. I think I'm going to miss it. You know what? I'm buying. So I got in at 310. It was a little higher than I wanted to be in at. Would have, rather have been in right under 3. But it was moving quickly, right time of day with news. So I was like, all right, I'll jump in. So jumped in about 315 average. It goes up to 360 almost. Pulls back here for a second, micro pullback, then it pushes higher up to 380. So 15,000 shares in this area, got a couple nice trades, pulls back, curls, comes back up for a second attempt. So in this area here, we got this really nice breakout. We see we had this descending resistance line, curls up to it, and then it breaks it, pops up, pulls back, pops a little higher, but then can't get back through the high and pulls back. Then it does make another attempt to come back up there, but it's choppy in the way it does it. So I was really hoping that we would see a squeeze through this level. You'll see that we did end up coming back to that level, but it wasn't clean. It wasn't a big breakout. And now it's pulled back down. Now, just in the last few minutes, it came back up and then dropped down a second time. So not easy, but from, 310 up to 380, that was enough range with some share size for me to make some money. So sitting right now, $21,672.38 on the day, I'd say that's a solid green day. And then coming into 9:30 at the opening bell, BLBX was the leading gainer, but it had already kind of broken the pattern by pulling back. So I wasn't feeling confident with that one. NEHC had already pulled back too much. Now we had a couple others that did pop up at the open. It was PDYN, but this one's got a 19 million share float, so a little bit more thickly traded. Not quite as easy to trade. So that one I didn't break the ice on, didn't feel comfortable. A lot of volume on IPA today. IPA, 232 million shares, but it's cheaper. ASST, 110 million shares, but it's cheaper. So if we sort it by volume, you'll see that BLBX was our third leader in volume. NEHC is the fourth, fifth leader. POAI, that one's in there at the fourth leader spot for volume. So you have a little bit of dispersed attention. And some of these are on stocks that I find to be a little too cheap, or, just not showing quite as much potential, so I didn't trade them. But it's important to be aware of what other traders are focusing on. Just because you don't like them, I mean, that's fine. If you don't like them, you don't want to trade them. But if other traders like them, then, that's what they're going to be focusing on. So you shouldn't be surprised when a setup that you like maybe doesn't get as much attention because the volume is elsewhere in the market. So that's kind of what I was noticing today. And if we look at the calendar, let's refresh this. So added yesterday's trades. So now on the month of January, sitting at $140,000 just on the month. I'll remind you, as always, my results aren't typical. So manage your risk, take it slow. 20,000 yesterday, another 20,000 today. That's going to put me at 160 on the month. So making some really nice progress here. And, at this point, I just got to keep my head down, keep grinding, chipping away at base hits. I'm happy with $5,000 a day. That's my daily goal. 5,000 a day is over $1 million a year. If I can average 20,000 a day, well, now we're starting to get to $3-4 million a year potential, which is kind of what I've done during really good years. So looking at my average here for the last 30 days, my average daily gain over the last 30 days has been around 14,000 per day, 240,000 in 30 days. Look, I know there's people that they'll make more than that in maybe one day trading, I don't know, Trump coin or something like that. But for me, I think this is pretty good. And it's not just luck. It's about being consistent, showing up every single day, 345 trades. And for the most part right now, it's about being quick, getting in, locking up that profit, not overstaying my welcome, and then living to trade another day. So I'll be back at it first thing tomorrow morning. If you're not already doing a 2-week trial, hey, check it out. It's 2 weeks for $20. Now that $20 gets you access to our real-time market data feed. Now, in theory, in the past, we had a free trial. It didn't include real-time market data. And it was kind of a challenge because people doing the trial were confused. They're like, I can't see the charts. I can't see the scanners. So it's $20, but you get access to this platform right here, which gives you real-time scanners. So you can see in real time, boom, here's a stock spiking up and it's got news. That's the news feed right there. And I've got the chart right here. And now it's just about taking the trade. So thank you guys as always for tuning in. Please take it slow, practice in a simulator before you put real money on the line. And I hope to see you bright and early tomorrow morning. I'll be streaming at 7 a.m. So hopefully I'll see you there. All right. Thanks as always for tuning in, and I'll see you for the next upload real soon.